Hey there, Hushpup here, back again, making something cool in the Sandbox Game Maker. Game Maker has had a huge update with version 0.9. Before we begin, if you'd like to give it a go yourself, you can download the Sandbox Game Maker for free using the link in the description box or pinned comment below. Additionally, as a special reward for you guys, if you want to find out how to earn some sand, which is their in-game currency, by making an experience in less than 10 minutes, also check out the description box and pinned comment below. If you use the referral link, you can earn yourselves 100 sand or more. With sand, you can use this to purchase items in the Sandbox marketplace. Just like Robux or other virtual currencies, you can cash it out and exchange it for real US dollars. During this video, I'll show you how to create and publish your very own experience, so stick around to find out more. Alright, now that that's out of the way, let's have a look at the templates. We're going to go to Gaming, and there's a whole bunch of different templates you can use to start making your own experience. We're going to jump into this Sand Invaders one. And as you can see, it already comes preloaded with a map, as well as a bunch of game logic and objects, so you can get going. Hit the play button. This is Space Invaders, but in 3D. The spaceship that you use to shoot is instead these little, I guess, cannons here that you can walk up to. And the aliens are a bunch of animals and creatures, although I see something with wings back there. Some sort of demon or something. The question is, will we beat it or will we be defeated by these animals? That was off. And there we go, that's this game. It's quite fun. It's very interesting what you can do with all of the logic blocks. Since this experience was made with zero coding, as that is one of the advantages of the Sandbox Game Maker, you don't need to do any coding to make any of the games. But we're not going to be using this one, we're going to be making our own experience today. So we're going to head back to the main menu. We're going to head over to templates and instead go by the featured templates and choose Desert House. I'm going to click create from template and we're going to call this one Pet Adventures, and you'll see why a bit later on in the video. Alright, so here we are. There's quite a lot of space we have to work here, and I've got an interesting idea that would be quite fun to make as like a little experience. So first up, we're going to need to make some game rules. For this, we're going to go to Gameplay, Game Rules, and then we can go down to the Presets button here, and we can choose one of the predefined set of rules to create. And for this one, we're going to try Shop. We want to make it so that you can buy something at the end of this particular adventure. We're going to have to learn how to sync this to an actual like vendor stall somewhere though, but we got the shop. There's all sorts of different ones you can try though. The easiest one to do is collect points, as all you have to do for that one is make sure you've got things in your experience that add points to the total. We did that in the last video, so if you want to check that out, it's also in the link down below. If we wanted to add different rules on top, because you don't just have to have one preset, we could have the shop and also points, which we might come back to do this later, as I'm not exactly sure what we need for this just yet. You can also customize these, or just build your own. There's a bunch of math rules, if you need to use currencies or numbers, time rules, comparisons, all sorts of useful stuff to build a game without needing to code. Although you do still need to read what each section does and how they all link together. See, in our rules here we have the math module. This one is to add money to your total. We will need this because items in the shop will cost money. And the rest of these are to handle the logic of purchasing your items in the shop. Here they've included two. One costs 100, one costs 200. We'll only be using one of these, I think, once I figure out how to set this up. The comparison module just checks if you have enough of this particular value, which is money, and if you do, it will trigger the shop item purchased message, or if you don't, it will fail it. And then on success, it will deduct the value of how much it costs. So this one is 100, and this one is 200. So it's quite simple. I suppose now we just need to sync up all of these messages to something in the world. Now, as you saw in the other experience we played, the Space Invaders one, that had a nice locked camera. So you can change how the camera works in the Sandbox Game Maker. So you can make any kind of game you want. The third person would probably make the most sense for this type of game, but let's try top down, since that looked very nice when we did it before. We won't be able to use many of the indoor areas, but that's okay. And we're going to change the lighting as well. So it's neutral at the moment. Well, this is a desert, so let's see what the desert ambient lighting looks like. It's very orange. Is the orange too annoying? Wait, let's try something that would be completely out of tone for this area. Oh, you can't set it to winter. That'd be very funny. Winter in the desert. Noon intense. intense noon. Well, it's a very intense noon. Okay, well, this is what we're going to be doing then. Intense noon. So it's very washed out colors now, because the sun is very bright, shining down in the desert. We've also got some music we can choose. We can finally try out TikTok, which I wasn't sure. I think TikTok won't match the tone and theme of the experience we're making. Maybe across worlds. That could fit an adventure. Alright, let's do that one. Alright, well, now that this has been all set up, let's figure out how to add things. So first of all, we're going to want a starting point. The spawn point has been placed down here, but I don't want to start down there. I want to start somewhere else. I'm trying to think of the best way to navigate around this particular area to make it the most interesting. And I think we're going to make it so that we end up down here in this little like basin area at the end of our adventure rather than the beginning. So first of all, we're going to start the player up here on this little ridge. I suppose there's nothing stopping you from dropping down, but we're going to make sure that that is very painful if you do decide to do that. We're also going to need to block off a lot of the area here to make it so that we don't incentivize you to go over here. Is there like an invisible barrier block? That would be quite useful. I don't know if there is. Barrier. I guess we could have like glass. I will try and figure that out later. I'm sure there is a way to add an invisible barrier, but instead of that, we'll just make it so that all of the quests and such lead you around this area properly. Now there is top down, so this map does have a lot of interesting indoor areas. I don't know how that will work with the camera, but you know what, that's a good time to hit the play button so we can see exactly what we're dealing with. So this is the top down perspective. It's quite cool. And maybe we'll want to change this. I saw that there was the other camera option, since it might be nicer to have a slightly angled top down view. Okay, so what happens is it's completely fixed. So if you go inside, the camera doesn't zoom in on you. So that's fine. It's not completely broken you going inside, although you can get lost. Okay, that was that test successful. And it was good to test it because I didn't like it. I didn't like that at all. Let's try angled. We might just have to go back to third person because it does make the most sense for adventure games, but we're trying something different. Oh, yeah, here we go. There we go, angled top down. This is what I was looking for. Yeah, that's a lot better. Nice, there we go. And we can also see that the money variable is there in the top left-hand corner of the screen. Okay, so what's to stop you from going this way round? Well, nothing, but we're going to have it so our quest giver is here by the bridge, and then make it so that you have to go across. So let's get a dude. There's lots of them in the asset library. Go to characters. Or I guess it could be an animal again. Could be a crab. No, let's not be too silly too early. This elder caveman looks good. I love that you can create your own hotbar shelf, so you can quickly get things that you want. It's really nice. Although I think I just dragged him off, but it's fine, we only need one. So he's the behavior of a farmer. Gathering area. So we'll go and get things. That's interesting. I'm sure you can create a lot of unique mechanics with that. But we don't actually want this guy to go and farm anything, so we will make him an asker. And as an asker, we can set up a whole bunch of different responses here, and one of them can link to a quest, which we had last time. And this time we're going to have it so that the quest gives you money instead of points. Now what are we actually going to do with this quest? What do we want the player to actually figure out in this one? I think we're going to have it so that the player needs to collect the right item. But what item that is, we'll have to figure that out by going again to the handy asset library and finding some very cool props. We did use the Aztec medallion last time, as well as that other little dragon prop thingy. There it is, the ancient artifact. That was nice, it span. I did like that. So this one's going to be interesting. We're going to make it so you have to collect one of these flowers, and the wrong one will kill you, which will be funny, I think. So we're going to have this across the bridge. So you have to go across here to find that flower. We're not going to have it in here because you can't really see in there with the camera angle. So to expand this, we're going to need to actually build out this area. And for that, we have to use these blocks. Well, this block is a sand block, whereas the blocks we see here are just colored yellow. So I wonder if I can get that block. Let's see, blocks. Oh, here we go. Yeah, they're just colored blocks. Guessing that's one of the colors. Yellow sand. Oh, no, it's probably just all these yellow sands, actually. Which would make sense because it's sand. You gotta make it match. Does it match? It does match. Great. So we're gonna build out an area here. It's nice and easy. Just click and the block appears. I don't know if you can recolor blocks or change them. Oh, there is that asset swapper replacer thing. But I think that's more for if you have a bunch of trees and you want to turn it from one type to another, rather than individually swapping these blocks. So if we want these to be different colors, we're going to have to actually be careful and do it properly. So we don't want them all to be the same color, otherwise it will look a little strange. I accidentally deleted all of that. What did I do? Oh, you can select a whole bunch of things with right click and it deletes it. Oh, that's actually really neat. Can I do the same? Oh, you can. I should have done that before, but wow. I like that. That's really good. Obviously, I still can't do it too much, otherwise we'll end up with lots of blocks the same color, but that is really nice. I think it doesn't really know exactly what I want to do. I want to make platforms. I don't want to do whatever that is. I want to go this way. But it's fine. If I can only do 2 at a time, it's not really a big deal. Let's speed through this while I do all the other sections. Alright, that looks good. So we're going to have our 3 plants. We're going to have this one. Going to have this one. And we're going to have this little cactusy thingy. And the player is going to need to go and get the correct one. These don't have any behaviors by default. Except this one. This one has a plant and a message to destroy kill. So if it has kill sent to this, it will die. We don't want that. We want this to actually damage you, which would be interesting. Looking at the behaviors, I don't think we want it to actually do any of that, really. We want this to really be like a trigger. So it's not really a collectible, because we don't want it to disappear. Actually, yes we do. Actually, that won't mind. So we can collect something. Okay, collect 1. Cool. And when we collect it, allows to have health points. We don't want this to have health. We want it to damage you. Okay, I found out how to do it. So we need to go to Player, Controller, Components. There's healing blocks and damaging blocks. So we can add various assets that will heal and damage. So I guess we always have to make that particular asset heal or damage though, which isn't exactly what I want, but it'll do for now. Plus I think you can only add blocks. I'm not sure if we want blocks though. We want it to be this asset. We want it to work like a health potion. Attributes. Yeah, we can just give it a negative power up. That should work. So for the component, alright, go to power up, multiplayer power up, and then make it have a negative health amount. Let's do negative 200, just going to kill you instantly. Collision. Should we just try that? Should we see if that works? This will be funny if it does. That does actually work. Okay, that's nice. And it doesn't respawn, which is what I wanted. Cool, exit play mode. It's off to a good start so far, although when I'm playing this in play mode, the lighting's not staying. Why is that? Noon intense. Very strange. So we need to do that again. Gonna make this a power up. This was probably not the intention that they had with power-ups. Make them like damaging things. There we go, negative 200 there again. And this one is going to be our pickup. Might as well make it a multiplayer collectible since we are making everything else multiplayer compatible. I don't know if there's going to be a multiplayer experience though. Probably not. Display name, doesn't really need a display name. And you get one of these. We're going to call this Fire Flower because we're boring. There we go. Fire Flower tag. As I believe we need to give it a tag. And then when this is picked up, hopefully the quest will be able to understand that we have this. So let's go back to this guy. We can actually finally reword this question. Can you help me collect one fire flower? I feel good. That's not really an answer we want to have to this one. It can be yes, or just no. Keep it simple. And if it's yes, we can have a custom message of quest 1 start. So we can start quest 1. Now we can go to objectives, enable quests, add a quest. From last time, we now remember that the top bit is just the name of the quest. Find the fire flower. Quest description. I guess we put the description as the title. Find the fire flower. Again. We can't do that. We can't do that. So the description is find the fire flower for the... What's this guy called? Did we name him? He's called Creator. Let's call him Gary. For Gary. And we'll call the quest Flower Power. There we go. See, that sounds like an actual interesting quest. Now we're going to make it so that to unlock it, we need to require a message, which will be quest 1 start. Auto launch. Counter. Collected objects. Tag is fire flower. Amount is 1. Action after completion. Do we want to do anything? I guess we want to send a message. Quest default complete. We want to reward money. That's the thing. We want to do a couple of quests so that we can get enough money to buy the weapon. We did this last time as well. It's all very similar stuff. So we're going to have a... Not quest default complete. Actually, no, we could just do quest default complete. Just get the same amount of money each time. So let's leave it at that. And I think we have to go to gameplay, game rules, and add something that will add money. Add subtract number. The quest complete default. Value of money. Value changed. Shop add money 100. Just make this add 50. That's all the same as this. Fixed value. Message to send none. Doesn't need to send anything back. And there we go. We added our own custom rule. I suppose we also could have made the quest send the message shop add money to keep it all neat. But it's good to show your editing skills and how you can very quickly modify the rules to make your own custom game logic. Right, so that should all work now. I think it's time we test it again. So we can see if the quest is working, the reward is working, and the money is working. And I bet something isn't working. Find the fire flower for Gary. I think we just spammed E on him. I should put an exclamation mark above his head to show that it is a quest. And there we go. Okay, we got it. It's not called a fire flower. It's called a blooming hit. Was it blooming heather or something like that? Didn't give us the money though. I have synced something up wrong, as I thought I might have done. Easy fix though. Also, we need to rename this guy to not Creator. He needs to be called Gary. And there was another component we added, wasn't there, before? It was like a speaker component. That was also wrong capitals. Only once triggered. If you say no, does that mean you just don't get the quest? We need to test that as well. Text to display. Hail. Traveler. Traveler. There we go. Look at him. It's a cool dude, Gary. Something else that we needed to check, okay, is off. You can change your avatar. So so you don't have to spawn as your guy. And I think I might, to keep it thematic. So we'll pick a different avatar model to play as for this test. Although when I release the experience into the wild, we'll make it so you can just be you. But for this, and so it can be thematically accurate, let's go and pick some sort of adventurer looking guy or girl. Adventurer Jet, yeah, there we go. And I wanted to make sure we didn't have a sword equipped. That is very important. We don't, and that's good. And we don't want people spawning with their own equipment. Right, I just need to go and fix that quest before we can move on to the next one. But before that, let's go and just speed build through this bit and make changes to the world here. Make it interesting looking. Using the newly found right-click to delete method, we're going to make some cool bits of water, which I think will be very nice. There, that is much nicer. And also breaks up all of this sand as well. So there we go, we've already decorated a bunch of items around this little oasis here. Well, I guess we need a few more trees for it to become a proper one. But we do have an enemy here now. Now you might be wondering, why is there a skeleton guy here? Well, that's very important for later. We're going to be making this whole area filled with these skeletons. Let's actually make sure we tag these up correctly. We're going to want to make a quest to defeat these later. So we're going to call this quest enemy 1. We've also got a bunch of other different enemy types down here. This sorcerer, quest enemy 1. And a bunch of different skeletons. We don't want the skeleton to be floating. That would be silly. We do like to do silly things, but that's a bit too far, especially right now. We want to make it so that it is a very big challenge for you to come down here without a weapon, which is why you need to go and buy one. So that is a later quest to be done. Objectives, quests, add quest, pet rescue. Defeat all the evil creatures and rescue the pet, which is why we called this a pet adventure. We want to make this require a message as well. And we're going to have this be a counter. Is this a counter? Counter type deaths. There we go. And quest enemy 1. And amount will just be basically how many enemies we've got, which I'm going to just put as 15. It's not 15 yet. We're going to add more to make it 15. Otherwise this quest will be unbeatable, and that would be kind of sad. We do need to also fix the money thing, and we need to make a second quest. So let's go and make a second quest. The second quest is going to be quite easy, actually. We're going to make it so that you just have to go and reach a certain location. We're going to make some sort of trigger to send a message up to the objectives area. We're going to make this find the merchant. Find the mysterious merchant that is selling the goods you need, because you do need it. This one also requires a message. And okay, so we should actually have this trigger upon completing the previous one. So we need to change this to actually be not quest default complete. Shame we can't send 2 messages, but it's fine. Quest 1 complete. Quest 1 complete. And then we can have this one require the message. Quest 1 complete. There we go. Action after completion, send a message, and do the default completion. That is fine. Because after we buy the sword, then that can launch the last one. Cool, we got it. Wait for message. Oh, that's simple. Yeah, we can do it here. Okay, so that one will be quest to area reached. We don't want to add it with an argument. And when we reach quest area 2, this will then trigger. We need to make this one quest 1 complete. Alright, let's see if we can add a trigger. Also, can we climb this tower? That would be a cool place to put the merchant, right? But I don't know if we can climb the tower with our player not really being able to change the camera perspective, because it doesn't really bump inside here. So maybe that's not a good idea. Instead, let's just have him chilling out in this cave. Our avatar's now been changed to Jet, the adventurer. The Hail Traveller. Can you help me collect one fire flower? Yes. Okay, that's working nicely. Oh, defeat all evil creatures and rescue the pet has triggered. Also, I cannot move. Why? It's stuck. Why is it stuck? Can't even escape. Interesting. And that is why you need to constantly press save while doing your work, otherwise it might crash and then you could lose it. Unfortunately, I don't think we saved at all, so we've got to do it all over again, but, you know, as they say, when you do it once, you can do it very quickly because you know what you're doing. So, I will speed run through making all the bits again, and we'll resume from where we were. Alright, we're back to where we were before. Mostly recreated the area to look the same. We did add a wall in the end, just to make it look like you're not supposed to go that way. I'm sure you can jump over it if you try hard enough. We've made some improvements though. First of all being, we've added this new component called an indicator. And that's the one that I was missing last time, which when you walk up to the NPC, it will show an actual UI pop-up, and that pop-up will display what you need to press to interact with the guy, or anything actually. You can put it on even a barrel if you wanted to. So that's pretty useful. I'll show that off in a bit. We've got the teleporter set up. Same as last time, we just added the avatar teleportation component. You sync it up to a game object you want the exit to be. Very simple, nothing complicated there. Also added an indicator, so once again you can know what button you need to press when going into it. For the quest up top, we do have one of these logic assets up here. We set it to have the trigger volume behavior, and that means that if anything enters the radius, we click edit logic, we can see we set it to a radius of 4 voxels. When you go into this area, it will send out a message, and for this one it is quest 2 trigger, which will complete the second quest. Don't really need to use the exit message, but just left it at default. And that is most of the stuff set up. Now we do need to create 2 more mechanics in this game. First of all is making sure the shop works, which at the moment it's not finished, so it doesn't. We made the guy sell weapons by asking. If you say of course, it will trigger the shop item 1 message, which will head on over to the game rules section to see where that leads. It will activate this comparison block since it's listening to shop item 1, and then it checks if you've got enough money, and if you have, it will purchase the first item. If this is successful, it returns this, so we need to sync this to something here. I think we set this message broadcaster to listen to shop item 1 purchased. So that's what it will do, and then we need to now give this a trigger to do something. We're going to make the message spawn sword, since we want it to spawn a sword. We'll put this sword here. We want this to have a collectible component attached to it, and if you collide with the sword, you should be able to get it. We also do want to have the toggle component, and we want the turn on message to be one of the messages we already wrote before. What's the name of this one? Spawn sword. Okay, so when we spawn the sword, we will toggle everything on. We don't want to turn off message because it's just going to start off. So what this is if you buy the sword, it will turn the sword on for you to pick it up. At least that's the hope here. Do I need to do anything else with this? It's hard to know if this entity is just a real sword or if it's actually not usable. I'm not exactly sure how equipping weapons work, so we'll come back to that in a bit. For now though, we need to go and add some more power-ups. We are already technically using power-ups with these little fake plants here, since they damage you instead of heal you. But it would be good to add some ones that actually help you out. So we're going to get our trusty golden trophy again. And this one will be giving you a nice speed boost to run past all of these skeletons I've put on the way to the teleporter. So very simply add the power-up component, make it speed. We know it's a percentage this time, and we're going to make it 30%, which isn't really as fast as I would like it to go. It'd be cool if you could do 100% to make it double. And there we go, display name, Speedy Cup. last 30 seconds. That's also a long time. It would be good if this could be smaller as well. Yeah, they need to definitely change these numbers. Want like just a little burst of speed. But 30 seconds is fine. Should be good enough to allow you to run past all these skeletons and then some. We also do want a final quest. So this quest unlocks with the shop 1 item purchased, so that's fine actually. I was going to make it on equip, but don't really need to do that. You're going to have to go and defeat all of these guys, and when they die, what does this spit out? Quest 3 completed. We want to add a new logic asset here. Now, these things are very useful. We're going to make this a spawner, which is not in the components section. Is it a behavior? Asset spawner. Single player because it's only for the person who completes the quest. And since this is the pet adventure, we need to get a pet, basically. Let's go for characters. Get the Arctic Fox again, why not? It's a friendly looking guy. Gonna be removing the bird behavior. Let's make it a melee enemy with 0 attack damage and 0 attack rate. Now this is really interesting. So why we're doing this is so that it can follow you and be a pet, but it won't attack you. Can block attacks. No, we're not going to make it attack. That's a good detection range. Melee, attack the avatar. Yep, all good. I don't want it to be stunnable. We also don't want it to be killable either, though. That's the thing. So maybe we actually do have to make it... Can we make it an ally instead? No, it doesn't follow you, though. We do want it to follow you. I guess we're going to have to just give it an insane amount of health. Oh, we can't do that. Can I do 50? Why can we do 50? Can we remove health? Oh, yeah, we can just remove health, so you can't kill it anymore. Done. Easy. I think that will work. I hope that works. Let's give it a tag. Rescue pet. Do we want toggle? We want this to be spawned in, actually, so I don't think toggle's the right one. We want an asset spawner. So, asset to spawn. Let's rename this to Pet Fox. Asset to spawn. Search for Pet Fox. Oh, does it have to actually be a... So it can't be one of your models? That's not that useful then. Oh, a preset. We can make it a preset maybe. New presets in your inventory. Okay, I can make this a preset somehow. That's what I need to do. Oh, there we go. Save to preset. Ah, that's useful. Pet Fox. And now with the asset spawner, we can spawn the Pet Fox. There we go. I guess I can delete him. Doesn't need to be here anymore. Because he's set in the presets. Nice, okay. Yeah, only once. We need to edit the logic to make sure it doesn't do it when we don't want it to. We need it to be trigger. It'll be quest 3 completed. I don't know if that will work, but I'm hoping that will work. So the reward for killing all the skeletons is getting a friendly pet fox that will follow you, which is technically not friendly. It's trying to attack you, but that's fine. It can't deal any damage. Another thing I noticed when I tested it earlier was that the player spawned in with like 1 health, which actually was alright, I didn't mind that. Health 1. Yeah, there we go, 1 health. We do want it when you complete the 3rd quest up here, you actually get more than 1 health though. I'm going to try and see if that's possible. If it's not possible though, then we will definitely change that. Looks like for the shop at least, we just needed to pick a different sword asset. So for this one, we went to the asset library, equipment, and picked the basic sword. For some reason, Iona's sword didn't seem to have the bit of logic we needed. We put the collectible component on it, and you should have a on equip message down here. And this one didn't have that. So we couldn't do what we wanted to do with it. But this one does. And also I looked, I don't think you can modify the player health afterwards, so we do need to make it so that this isn't just 1, because it will just be 1 health forever. So let's give him 50 health. We might just have to make those skeletons a bit more deadly, because I think you'll be able to like punch your way through all of them. That's not the intention. It'd be nice if you could disable punching as well, actually. That would be kind of useful. But I don't think you can do that either. It's fine, we can modify these things later. Or we could give a temporary attack boost or health boost or something instead. But for now, let's go and delete this sword. We do still want the spawn sword toggle on this as well. Spawn sword. Initial behavior state false. Edit logic. There, we've got the on equip message, which is really good. We don't actually want to do anything with this. Interact. Equip me. This seems good. Alright, let's test to see if this works now. And hopefully that should be everything working. To get the money to work, we also had to modify these. So we're making it so that it's a message broadcaster. It'll wait to send the message. And the message required is quest 1 completed, and when that is completed it will send the quest cash reward up to the rules, and it will give us a 50 money. There we go. Now I've got the interact key visible when we go up to Gary here. It's really nice. Let's go find that flower. Oh yeah, it's this one. It's still not giving the money now. Oh, I have to fix that. Because without the money we can't actually progress this. You can punch your way through them. Oh no! Alright, we'll make sure to spawn a damage boost, I think, and then drop the health down. That will be the best way around this. Cool, that works. That's nice. I found the mysterious merchant. Yeah, that won't do anything because we can't... Oh, the sword was able to be picked up. Well, even with the sword you're getting absolutely destroyed. Oh no! Yeah, a damage boost would be good as well to give the player after they pick up the sword. Did you keep it though? Okay, that's how that works. You keep the flower too. Interesting. Yeah, the no money thing is annoying. We will fix that. Alright, so we've just about got everything working now. We're gonna speed run through these last changes as this video is getting quite long now. We need to wrap it up. So one thing that tripped us up was the money not being added, and I figured out why. In the previous experience we made, we used the game rule collect points, and in this one we used the game rule of shop. The shop game rule added the money variable, and that is a local variable, and for whatever reason the way I was doing things to reward you cash and such just wasn't really working that way. So just as a quick fix, changed it to be a global variable, made a new gold variable to be used here, and then I changed all of these little blocks, these rules, to use gold instead of money, and it's all working fine now. So what we've done as well is that the player was struggling to defeat all the skeletons, so we've included underneath these tree stumps some fruit that you can pick up that heals you, and these tree stumps have the plant behavior as well as a message to destroy, which I've set to remove. And when you, I believe it's when you buy the sword, one of these will trigger and send a message throughout the whole level with the word remove, and then it will destroy all of these tree stumps, which is quite cool. We also have this logic asset that's an asset spawner. This one basically just creates the sword after you buy it. And pretty much that is everything good to go. So let's give it one playtest and then we can get on to publishing. Alright, Gary, can you help me collect one fire flower? Yes. New objective unlocked. We've got to go and get the flower. We know where that is now. There we go, find the merchant, and we successfully got 50 gold, so that is working, which I'm very, very happy to see. Picked up our little power-up trophy there to run past all these skeletons. We can use the teleporter to go up here. Quest completed to find the mysterious merchant, who we can then buy this amazing weapon. And then we got a new quest triggered from that. Rescue the pet by defeating all the evil creatures. took a bit of time for that sword to spawn, so I might need to look at that. We just need to go to our inventory and equip the sword. We've got 20 seconds on the damage boost. It would be nice if we could have made that last a little longer. But I think we actually set it to the max that we could. And all the tree stumps got destroyed successfully, so we can now go and pick up all of those nice piles of fruit. A bit low on health, so let's go and get one now. There we go. I'm getting surrounded by skeletons. Oh no! It's actually better when they all clump up though. Our sword does cleave damage, so it's hitting multiple of them at once, which is great. Want just a few more, and also the sorcerer as well. I don't know if this particular enemy summons anything, or they just evil and walk around. Looks like they just walk around. Get the final fruit pile. There we go, max health. And look, we rescued the pet. And it follows us, just as planned. But it's not that fast, and it is also trying to attack the camel. Well, it is a wild creature after all, so I guess it does make sense. But yeah, that's cool. We rescued the pet. If we wanted to add something else, I suppose we could create a drop-off area so that the experience could end. But we're not going to do that now. It could be something we add in the future. Just want to check one thing quickly. Ah, it has a delay, and we can't set that as 0, so that's why there's a little delay when you're doing stuff. Okay, that's fine. We also do want no collisions with these portal pieces, since they're supposed to be visual effects only. Done. And with those changes, we should save again, as we learned our lesson from earlier. And now, we just need to publish. So doing that is very easy. Go to the top left over here, the publish button, and there's a few different ways you can actually share your experience. You can create an experience page, you can publish on the map, or you can share in gallery. We're going to use the share in gallery option, and there we go. It'll be in the gallery for others to play. Name of your experience, pet adventure. Describe your experience. Complete the quests to rescue the pet. And there we go. Single player experience, of course. And that's it. Didn't even take 2 minutes. Now that we've finished publishing our experience, it's time to try others in the sandbox. First up, we'll be having a look at this Invincible Attack from Above experience. So the goal of this experience is to take on missions to rescue civilians, defeat numerous Flaxan invaders, and destroy their ships. Okay, looks like we got a fight on our hands here. Alright, it's loaded in. That news bulletin wasn't kidding. Downtown is a mess. The buildings are blazing. Is that Invincible over there? And Flaxans? Not this again. I better get in and help. I don't know who this floaty guy is, but he doesn't like gaps in the floor. I mean, this is really cool. It's got all sorts of visual effects going on, and it's got textures on the windows too. It's all cartoony. And this was all made in the sandbox. Obviously it takes probably a lot longer than what I've done on my project, but this is what you can do if you've got the time. Especially because you can make all of your own custom assets in the Vox editor. You don't have to just use the stuff that we've been using in the open marketplace. Hey, nice flying skills. I'm not invincible, but I can handle myself. It's got all sorts of quests as well. Anti-aircraft action. Oh, he fights with you too. That's cool. Do we have any special abilities? Not really. We can punch though. I can punch him. How much health does he have? Oh, do I have to beat this up as well? Oh, yes I do. Alright. That's been destroyed. Do we have to go down there as well? I mean, there's people being punched. What do you say? Okay. New objective. What's the next one? This is nicely made. Stabilize the broadcasting tower. That is a building... Oh, all the way up there. Okay. How do we get there? We can't fly. Oh wait, can we fly? I mean, we can keep jumping. We can keep flapping. Oh, we hold down space and shift, and that's how we get up. Cool. Alright, press that. And it changes the state of the asset. That's cool. Swapped it out from destroyed to active. This is really nice, though. It's a nice looking game. It's really well put together. I really like the cartoony visuals. We're not supposed to go down, though. I guess we should go back to Invincible himself. Alright, there we go. We finished that way. Off he goes. It's got some pathfinding as well for the guy. Alright, we're going to leave this one here. Got to try out another game as well. But if you want to continue playing this, then definitely do give it a go. It's a nicely made one. Now, I had to try this one. Hell's Kitchen, The Chef's Table. This seems like it's based off of Gordon Ramsay, and it is. I don't know if it's official or... No, it is Hell's Kitchen official. So there we go. The lamb sauce man himself. There he is. Gordon, in all his pixely glory. They've actually done a really good job of making it look like him. Even the hair is like really good. Immerse yourself in the Hell's Kitchen actual kitchen. Help the chefs gather ingredients, and don't you dare forget the lamb sauce, of course. They included the meme. The question is, how many more memes are in here? Who knows, we might stumble across the idiot sandwich, if we're lucky. I think I look out of place as a robot, but we'll make it work. Where's Gordon? Who cares about anyone else? Gordon! Welcome to the single-player part of Hell's Kitchen. I'm happy that you've made it, but there's a multiplayer version too? That's cool. Oh, yeah, maybe the bit above. It's interesting how you can see other experiences on the minimap here. Good to see you, chef. What can I do? An important part of working in any good kitchen is to read the people around you. One of the 4 chefs standing next to me is the worst in the kitchen. Who it was? Oh no, okay. We gotta get them fired. Got it. When you think you know who it is, challenge them and come back to me. Challenge them! Who cooked the dish? So, find out who cooked the most appalling dish. Well, I mean, they look fine. Like, the pixels look fine. However, doesn't mean any of these are any good. Although we've got to speak to different people, I suppose, to find that out. We don't know by just looking at them. Oh, I can't go that way. And we can't jump over. So there is a way to add invisible walls. That'd be good to learn. So John is like over there somewhere. Let's go speak to Laura first. Can you bring us some ingredients we can prepare for the blind tasting challenge? What? We can tell you about the chef who created the terrible dish. So it's a bunch of quests then. That's cool. Sounds like your problem. But we know what that means. What ingredients do we need? Chopped carrot. Kitchen worktops. Okay, remember to chop it. There it is. Chop the carrots. Okay, we chop those carrots, and then we just speak to Laura again. Red team pantry. Okay, that's another quest. Get the eggs from the red team pantry. That's the other side, isn't it? But we can't get in here until we get past this person. Oh, okay, we have to answer correctly. Alright, what's up? Why did the chicken cross the road? Because it's raw. Is that correct? Oh, actually, I don't know, guys, is it? It's one of these two. I'm gonna say Great Britain, but it might not be. What is the name of the team challenge in the first episode of each season? I actually don't know this. Did I get it right? Did I get all of that right? Okay, well. The eggs are up there. We have to get up there, though. How do we get up to... Oh, they made this an obstacle course. That's smart. But I can't actually get above here, so maybe we can just make the jump here? Okay, eggs unlocked. And all this just to get some clues. There's actually a lot of quests, but this does make sense, I suppose, if we finished it quickly and found out who it was. That's game over. So that's the end goal. Main storage room. Laura, you have a lot of quests for us. Get the soy sauce from the main storage room. Also, Gordon has a little something to say as well. Oh, never mind, no, he doesn't. The main storage room. Where's the main storage room? Oh, this area. Okay. There's the soy sauce. Why is it all the way at the top? Who put soy sauce up there? Okay, we got the soy sauce. There's also something I can interact with here as well, and John needs something. Behind the large fridge. It just keeps unlocking more quests. The quests won't stop. Get the spices now as well. They have black hair, and I bet there's more than one person with black hair. Yeah, okay, so it narrows it down to Bob or Adam. Or just guess Bob. Okay, it's Bob. Oh, no, it wasn't Bob. Yeah, okay, I guess it's it's Adam then. Cool. You didn't have to do all the stuff though. You want to do some more challenges? Look around. Yeah. We lost the 50-50, but then we just had to pick the next guy. That's cool. I like this one actually. It's very thematic. I can't believe they recreated like a whole Hell's Kitchen looking place. It's crazy. It'd be fun to do something as detailed as this one day. But if you guys want to build something like this, you definitely can, as this is all made in the sandbox. Just takes time, and you'll probably need to use the Vox editor, which is another program by the Sandbox team where you can make your own custom assets. That's all for now. If you like what you see and want to try making an experience for yourself, download the Sandbox Game Maker using my link in the description / pinned comment below. Create and publish your very own experience today. It takes less than 10 minutes. And fill out the form also linked to earn 100 sand for each experience submitted during the event period. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.